want you to think about personal brand as your fingerprint. What makes you different from the other dancers down the road? In the last 15 years, I've been in the journey of building a personal brand. There is no other fashion designer who is like me. It's you sharing your life journey, me focusing on being authentic. That can then drive every other part of me. People think it's optional. One way or the other, we are all building a personal brand. When people ask around about you, there is something that they say about you when you're not there. That is your brand. And when you then go out to then share your story, to let people know the why you're doing this, you're not just coming to sell any product to them. They are buying into your story. You will be able to stand out in a creative field. We want to create an influence. We want to create an impact to say, I came into this world, this is what I was able to do in my own industry. Who do you want to influence? Who do you want to impact? All right, what's good, people? Out here today on the south side of London in Croydon. Today I've been invited to deliver a workshop on building your personal brand online for the creative students of the Croydon College, London. And yeah, it's going to be a wonderful day. Let's do this. You know me, anywhere I go to, I go with the community. And so I'm not out by myself alone today. I am out with the rest of the community member, and it promises to be a what? Of getting into my fashion brand as well has led me into creating a community for creatives like myself, because I had seen the pain and I had seen what it feels like, you being a creative and you having an image in your head, you having that dream, but you can't explain it to any other person. And it's better when you have a community or you are in a room where people of the same like-minded people can share in your dream as well. And so that was what led me to starting the community. And in the last 15 years, I've been in the journey of building a personal brand. And so in 2025, as a creative, I'll be talking you through what it is building an authentic personal brand that showcases your creativity, why it is important for you to have a personal brand as a creative. Satana, right? She mentioned the other time that she's into fashion and design. She loves to sing. She loves to dance. You can see that there is so many parts and so many layers to her. And this is a position I was in some years back where I could write, I could sing. No, I can't sing, sorry. I could write, I could speak, I could dress well. I love modeling. And how am I able to exhibit all of these? How am I able to share all of these talents with the rest of the world? Which one should I focus on? Which one should I leave? Which one should I do? Or maybe fashion is not even my calling. Maybe it is me writing. But later on, I discovered that I really do not need to pick any one of them. I do not need to focus on any of this. What I need to focus on is my own personal brand, is me, myself, me focusing on being authentic. And if I am being authentic, that can then drive every other part of me, every other layers of me. And each season can be different. Maybe for this year, my focus might just be on my fashion. It's another season, but every other part of me contributes to what becomes my personal brand. So about 7 or 6 years ago, when I was in the midst of the confusion of what exactly should I go for, what should I pick, and I said, okay, you know what, fashion will be my focus. And then the next thing I was able then to do was to then think about every other part of me, bringing them together, to then, for bringing every other part of me together to amplify the fashion. And that, over the years, has really helped build a solid brand, because what that means is that there is no other brand or there is no other fashion designer who is like me. You have different fashion designers. You have people who their own major focus is in design. But I then noticed that there is not a lot of designer who can write, who can speak, who has the spirit to create a community, to create events, to bring people together. A lot of designers can't even stand in front of camera to model. They have to get models to help them wear their own design. And I looked at all of that, and that was what I saw that made me different from every other designer. And with that, that has helped me create a personalized personal brand. And so, so I want you to think about personal brand as your fingerprint. What makes you different from every other person? What is your DNA? What makes you different from the other dancers down the road or the other musician? If you look at a lot of creatives, no name, like Cristiano Ronaldo, Centra C, Davido, Messi, if you look at these people, they've been able to build a personal brand for themselves. And you can see that every one of them has something different. Every one of them has something different from every other person in their own industry. So it could be the way you speak. It could be what you're passionate about. So the art in itself, it's a form of expression, but your own brand, your own authenticity, your own person is what shines through your creativity. So like I mentioned earlier on, that a lot of designers that are out there might not even care about them giving back to the community, or think about the younger generation. Where their own art might be is sustainability. What some other designers, where their own art might be is building a bigger empire. So we all have different arts. We're all at different phases in our journey, or in our creative journey. And so our personal brand is what gives us a voice. It's not just one thing. It's everything. Yeah, like I wrote there, it's everything that makes you, your experience, your journey, your fears, your aspirations, your hobbies, your influences. What makes you different from every other person? There is this saying that no two child are the same. Even twins, they have different DNA. They have different interests. They have things that make them different from every other person. So your personal brand is what makes you you. When you look at a project, that touch, that element of you, that feel of you in it. So personal branding is essentially the way you present yourself to the world, intentionally shaping how others perceive you. It's more than a logo, a fancy Instagram page, or a resume. It's communicating your identity, values, skills, and story in an authentic, memorable way. It's you sharing your life journey. And whether we like it or not, people think building a personal brand is optional. One way or the other, we are all building a personal brand. When people ask around about you, there is something that they say about you when you're not there. That is your brand. That's those little adjectives they use in describing you, those little comments that people say about you, those little words that they say about you. That is what your personal brand is. So, you creating your personal brand and understanding your personal brand, there are some key components you need to consider. Number one, you need to think about your identity, who you are, your values, your passions, and your personality. Like I mentioned earlier on, that I would like us to make this section very interactive. I would like one of us to please volunteer themselves to tell us about their identity, their values, their passions and personality, how we can bring that together to create your personal brand. Anyone? All right. Can you ask a question? Yeah, go.
Recently I've learnt myself more as a person, and as I have loads of creative things that make up for me, I feel like I've learnt my value because certain people, they can't do a lot of the things that I can do, as you said, and things like that. So it's my identity, I feel like it helps add to my creative things and things like that. But I don't really know how to answer the question there. I know your answer, but I don't know.
Okay, so what will you say is your passion?
Yeah, well, I do hairdressing as I actually job. So I do this hair and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my passions, I would say, is dancing and gymnastics. I've done that since I was a child. I've been very athletic. And I like singing. I've done that since school as well. I feel like I just mix things together because things cross paths.
Mm-hmm.
Certain values that I have, they make me as a brand because it can cross over. As in, I study art and I like doing makeup, and that helps me. So it's if I was to do a hair beauty brand, I'll be able to do hair as well as doing makeup because I've learned art and things like that. So,
yeah. And it's so interesting to learn about your own story, because I feel you as well, you're sitting in the middle of personal branding. When you're able to bring all of these key components together, you'll be able to make business and make good money, influence and impact with your creativity. So you said your passion is dancing. We're trying to, can we please all pay attention here? We're trying to create a personal brand, trying to put it together. So you said your passion is dancing. How will you define your personality? Are you an extrovert or an introvert?
I feel like my personality is obviously growing up in this society. I feel like certain things sculpt you to be the type of person you are. So it's I wouldn't say I've been this person since I was young, but I've had certain qualities which is just overall Santana. I'm a confident person. I feel like I'm outspoken. I'm real. I have a passion for dance because I feel like I can show certain stories and things through it. Yeah.
All right. So, your skills and talents, what you're known for and do exceptionally well. You said you can make a hairdressing. If you take a good survey and you look around and you ask around, there is a probability that you will not really find a good dancer who knows how to make hair, who knows how to make other people beautiful. What is your story, your experience, and your journey? Maybe do you want to share with us one life experience so far that?
Well, I grew up in a one-parent home, and all I saw was my mom, like, you know what she could, basically, kind of thing. And honestly, my mom didn't know. This is how I started into hairdressing. My mom didn't really, like, she knew how to do hair, but most times we would just get our hair done by other people or things like that. And honestly, I took that as, like, my mom doesn't know how to do that, so I'm going to learn myself. So I learned how to start tailoring, I started trying other people. And now I do my whole family's hair. My mom, my brother and sister. I grew up with, I have 11 siblings, but I live with 3 of them. And it's like, it's a thing where I had to build a platform and a pathway for myself, because there's so many other pathways that my leaders have to worry about. So I have to, like, create my own journey kind of thing, because everyone else is
Beautiful. Your visual experience. Are you an online or an offline person?
Both. I feel like recently, like in the past years, I took a break on, like, I didn't want to force myself too much at the age that I'm to start doing and doing, because I feel like it's a thing where people, parents, things like that, they force their teenagers to sit there and work, get money, this and that from when they're young, and it's like a thing where it's like, they don't realize after a certain amount of time it's not their job to look after us anymore, so I'm going to have to do that. So it's like I sat back and I didn't really push myself too much. I didn't really spread the word too much, but people knew what I did and still came to me. But now, as I'm getting a bit older and things, I started, like, you know, a TikTok profile, like, started posting my stuff, Instagram, spreading the word to, like, I get more clientele in my business.
And your voice and communication, how do you communicate? Are you someone who speaks, who writes? How do you prefer to express your ideas?
I feel like I'm multi-expressive. I have loads of ways to express. Like, I'm a good writer as well. Like, I'm good at writing poems and things like that. And I'm, as I said, quite confident. So it's like, I know how to use my voice and express myself and communicate. And I feel like I've got good professionalism. Yeah, I'm just not even right. Well, you guys are not yeah, professionalism skills. So, yeah, that's how I communicate.
Can we, number one, can we please put our hands together for her? That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So, let us put all of that together. Like I mentioned earlier on, you can see that your story is unique. Your journey and your experiences are unique to you. And this is what it is. There are a lot of people out there who can see themselves in your own stories, in your own experience, in that journey, that either they are from a single parent home, or they want to learn how to do hairdressing, or they are a young adult in a family in a large family, or they love to dance. But you can say that you're not just a dancer. There is so many parts and there is so many layers to you. And when you then go out to then share your story, to let people know the why you're doing this, you're not just coming to sell any product to them. They are buying into your story. People buy from people, not products. They buy the person who is selling it first before they buy the product. So when you tell me your story, you share all of this to me, there is an emotional connection and an emotional pull towards you already that will want me to listen anytime I see you on my feed, anytime I see the product, anytime I see anything that you put out, either you're writing or you put up a dancing concert show or anything. So you see, all of these things you've gone through, you can do all of these skills. Those are what build your personal brand. And those are what shapes you. Those are what shapes your own experiences and your own journey. And that is what will take you from one level to the other, because they are not without each other. They are all connecting dots. Like Steve Jobs once said that we're only able to connect these dots together when we've moved past all of this and we look back. And it is in that point that we're able to create or connect those dots together. And so, benefits of you having a strong personal brand. And this is not just for her, this is for every one of us in this room who has been able to identify our components, what makes us different, and what makes the things that we do different from others, is that you will be able to stand out in a creative field. You're not just an hairdresser, you're an hairdresser who dance. So if you want to focus on the dancing, you could create a business over there for you. Your business can be to specialize in making hairs for models. And that makes you unique because you're not like every other hairdressers. You are a hairdressers for dancers. For example, my fashion brand, I said we are for creatives because I have walked through that space of me trying to be a stand-up comedian, of me trying to be an MC, and I could understand their pain. And I know that one of the best way you can get to communicate to people is through your dress, through your clothes, before you even speak in a word. And that has helped me create a different brand, a different fashion or clothing brand that is true to myself. And that is the same you can do as well for yourself. You can attract opportunities, clients, and collaborations with bigger brands because you're different. If you're able to put out your story, your message in an authentic way, share your experiences, you'll be able to attract opportunities because, like I mentioned earlier on, that there are a lot of people in your own shoes as well, that they are trying to hear from someone who is walking through this phase or through this path that you're walking through. And so that creates, and that leads to the next point, that it builds credibility and trust. And most importantly, you grow influence and impact. At the end of the day, what a lot of us want to do is that when we leave this world, we want to create an influence, we want to create an impact to say, I came into this world, this is what I was able to do in my own industry. So this is how many creatives have been able to shine light on their own paths. How many people do you want to shine light in their own paths? Who do you want to influence? Who do you want to impact? If you build a strong personal brand, you would see how much influence you've had. In 20 years' time, one little girl will tell you, will walk up to you one day, that I was in your shoes, but me listening to your story, by you being your authentic self, you helped me through those dark times. Your words and your story shaped me and guided me. A lot of us, we all have role models. We all have people we all look up to. And the reason we look up to them is because they've been able to create their own personal brand. They've been able to share their own story. They've been able to share their art and a bit of themselves with us. So, in short, personal branding is being intentional with your image, your message, your presence. So, before I move on to the next part, which is why personal branding matters for creatives, I want every one of us to please write down what would you want people to think about you or feel about you. If someone saw your work online, what would you want them to think about you? Then we'll move on to why personal branding matters for creatives. Number one, personal branding, it helps with your visibility. If you're not seen, you can't get booked. If people don't know that this is what you do, you won't be able to get booked. And if you don't get booked, you won't be able to put food on your table. And you won't be able to live that dream. So if you take your personal branding serious, it helps you get visibility, it gets you opportunity, it opens doors to commissions, exhibitions, events, brand partnerships. Bigger brands are looking for smaller brands, especially individual brands with authentic story that they want to partner with. We've seen different campaign on internet where you see Nike partner with Jordan, where Nike partner with Jordan because they want to cut across to basketball players because they know that Jordan has lived that authentic, he has that authentic story that every other basketballer can share in. And so they are tapping into it, and that is big money. So trust and credibility, people will trust your work, they will trust what you're able to sell to them. So case studies of strong personal brand, we can see Pharrell Williams, even from his days of music, you can always see that, you can always see the fashion and his personal style through his music. So that has helped him, that has really helped his journey, that even when he stopped producing song, he's now the creative director for LV. So how will you see Pharrell to know that this is Pharrell from every other musician? His iconic art, his bold fashion statement, his consistent aesthetics, and lesson we can build from that is that a brand transcends one medium. Like I mentioned, we're working through different seasons. At the time, he was a musician, but now he's a creative director. This is a new phase. So life is a journey. We know of Cristiano Ronaldo, he's an athlete. One thing, for those of us who watch football, if the name Cristiano Ronaldo comes, if someone mentions the name Cristiano Ronaldo, what are like the things you can say about him? Anyone who wants to tell us what you can say about C. Ronaldo? You?
He's good at football.
He's good at football. There is one word every pundit will always say, that Cristiano Ronaldo has a strong mentality. That is his personal brand. Not giving up, trying. That is what makes him who he is. And that is why he is different from every other footballer. And with that, he has been able to build a long lifespan of career. So there are a few of other people that I've listed. We have Davido Music, the Africans. How many of us know Davido? So I'm just... Yeah, all right. So Davido is someone who is also at center of personal branding. There is Donald Trump, who builds business and politics. And this shows us why it is very important in this new age as creatives, why we need to build our personal branding online. Because number one, the medium is cheap. Number two, you don't have to wait for any other person. There was a report I saw about the last presidential election in America. And they said by Donald Trump going on podcasts, by him making use of social media space, he was able to reach more people than every of his other colleague that they were running for the election together. And this is the opportunity that social media gives us in this present age, that our work can cut across, can reach different places, that our work can reach different countries and different regions. We live in a country, we live in a world where there is no longer boundary. So, and to round up, I will try to differentiate between what is personal branding, the difference between personal branding and business branding. Personal branding is your own authentic self, your own story, your own value that you are putting out. And business branding is the product. That is more service-oriented, structured. Oh, you're branding this product to you're branding this product for this targeted audience. The advantage with you having a personal brand is that you can then break the different parts of you into businesses. So, like I mentioned earlier on, sorry, can you tell me your name one more time, please? Santa. So, for example, you can have a hair salon. That is a business on its own. You can still break it down to having a dancing schools, throwing dancing events. All of this part of you is what you can carry on into different, that you can break into businesses which are not too far away or not too far off from you. And when people buy into your own personal brand, they're able to buy into every of your other products that you're selling because you've built that trust and that confidence with them. And that is why, one more time, it is important for we creatives to build our personal brand. So your personal brand communicates who you are, what you do, why it matters. Consistencies across work, online presence, and interaction is critical. Your brand is both your identity and your strategy. What you want people to say when you're not in the room. What you want, who you want your story to inspire. And with that, I have come to the end of my session. And I hope with my few points, I've been able to convince you all, and not to confuse you all, that as a creative, you have to take your personal brand serious and you have to be online with that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Like I said earlier on, that I'm not here by myself. I'm here with myself and the rest of, and some members of the Elevate Your Style community. So the next person I would like to invite is Denny Gracira. Denny will be speaking to us. He is the founder of Knit Club, a networking club, and he will be speaking to us why it is important for creatives to network, why mediums you can use in creating and putting your work online. So, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please put your hands together for Denny.